Wow.
Wow, this is some really deep stuff.
I don't know what just happened, but something happened inside of me. Something snapped, something sick.
I wasn't expecting that
either. Sorry.
It's okay. It's all right. It's beautiful.
Monster is like really small, but it had to become that to stop me.
And then the hurt child became present when you mentioned it.
And I didn't realize this until now.
There were things that I didn't remember until now.
Funny, I haven't seen that before.
It feels like I'm the monster. I'm kind of seeing images of things. Of a world where they can exist. This clarity brings all kinds of answers.
It's clear. She hugged me and then went back to her place, I guess, in my heart. Oh, it wants to come out. It wants to bippity boppity boop Cinderella me. She's melted into my chest. It's ooey gooey.
All week been finishing things, cleaning up more, started eating vegetables again last week. And it kind of just started happening. It's almost like I just finished going through a meditation session.
I feel light. When you hit that first joint, in the morning, and
I actually feel a lot more awake.
I think I am more. I don't have as. I think when you and I first met, I had these pretty wide, or I'd say huge, waves going up and down. I could either really down, and then I could. Maybe, and I was mostly down, but it was less stable. I feel I'm more stable now.
Yeah.
And I am, of course, and during our work, I am more ready to kind of stop and look at it when things feel uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's great.
But I have something I would love to work on, but I'm not sure where it will go.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Sounds good. Should we get started?
Mm-hmm.
Start with the minute of meditation?
Okay, let's do that.
Okay. I'll set a timer. Okay.
So, yeah.
Before you start, I did talk about following up on, there was a part from our last conversation. I know it was a couple months ago, but I mentioned, I asked if you wanted to bookmark it and come back to it. And so I can share that with you, or we can...
Well, share that with me, and then we can see if I want to bookmark it further.
Yes.
Yeah.
In our last conversation, we spent most of our time, your time, unburdening a 2-year-old part. But there was also a 6 and 7-year-old, 6/7-year-old that had some anger and some other stuff that I have notes on somewhere. And we'd mentioned getting back to that part.
So we may get there.
Yeah.
Okay. But I would. Okay. We may very well end up there, but I would like to start with something that's either it probably is all related, right? That is based on some of it. Okay. So I would like to start with something that's maybe a little different and see where we go. Is that okay?
Sounds good to me.
Okay. But I remember that now. So there are 2 things, and one of them probably relate back to those 2, 6, 5, 6, 7, 8-year-olds that we talked about. One issue that I've been fairly consumed about it for a long time, or for at least for a month, maybe a month and a half. And that is, I'm coming back to that I'm ugly. That I'm ugly, right? I mean, worked on that long time ago.
Yes.
That I'm ugly and unlovable. And I think then we worked on it as a 17-year-old.
Okay.
And I remember I had this epiphany that this protector needed me to feel I was ugly.
Yes.
Because that's the only reason. Otherwise, I couldn't make sense of why I was unlovable. So okay, so we talked. So that's a long time ago, but that was an epiphany. That's like, wow. Okay.
Yes, it also, all of that came up in our last conversation also.
Oh, it did?
Yes.
Okay.
The conversation, it started with, you were talking about not feeling kind of accepted with your special friend and his social stuff. And you were talking about feeling left out. And one of the first things you said was having this kind of deep well feeling, and ugly and unlovable were kind of at the top of the list. And I think we were then attributing that to the 2-year-old, and the protector that was there was the judge, and we learned that it needed those parts to feel that way, to protect them.
Yes.
And one of the things that the 2-year-old needed to hear from you was that she was adorable and amazing.
And I had dropped that on. Because I have, for the last month, chasing after the cure of youthfulness, right? How much does it cost to look more useful? Now, youthful. So I almost did something that cost $3,000, which I don't have. Yeah. I didn't do it.
Okay. Okay.
I just have to say, wait a minute, I just have to sit with this for a while. So that's one part of it, and and the other part of it is that, and that's more recent, but it's probably connected to the same thing again. And I'll tell you that, and it is that, and it also go back to those same young creatures that it was a recent thing that triggered it. Is that everything is my fault. I'm a monster. I'm selfish. And I'll just tell you that little story. You can see how easily it could be triggered. And I mean, it's not a long story. It's just because it happened very recently. So I was with my special friend, and I got back and immediately got COVID. And I got back. So I got it there, right? My daughter got really scared because she was going to sing in a very prestigious concert hall in New York City in a big choir. So she got mad, So she got, of course, and so she, for a week, she moved down to her dad, which she very seldom does, but to protect herself. And then he's not in very good health. So if he got it and she got it, if she had gotten it, she wouldn't be able to sing. And this was such a big deal for her. She would have been totally devastated. And if he had gotten it, and he's the worst health of the three of us, that may not have been so good, right? Both of them have had it before, and I've had it before. So where this led me was that, okay, here I go and do something for myself, right? To see my friend. I have a wonderful time. I'm very social. So much, here I'm not very social because I work from home. Very social. And then I come home, and instead of when I was there thinking about, I should wear a mask because I have a daughter who's going to sing in this concert hall in a week. So I have to make sure that I protect, don't come home sick. And, I didn't think about that, because I haven't thought about COVID for a long time.
Right.
So I got home and I just I knocked my head against the wall. Like, wow, I'm a selfish, brutish monster. Like, here I go. And I didn't first of all think about her while I was there to protect her. What could happen to her if I didn't wear this mask? Nobody else wore masks. It was regular social engagements, right?
Yes.
And, so I came back with all that. And when she didn't get it and she stayed healthy, I cried because I was so relieved. The worst hadn't come through, Maybe I had been a monster, but at least I had been punished for it.
You hadn't been punished for it.
I'd been punished for it because she was able to sing and he didn't, and my ex didn't get it.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been wallowing in these two, the one with loneliness, obviously for a long time. This one just came up by that incident. But then I started looking into it and I said to myself, is it just, and it's not that justice is a small thing, but is it just that I'm kind of still, glued to or in the thick of this, or is it something else? And something that came to me was that since I met this guy, my life has kind of changed a bit, right? And there is change happening, and he is, he is incredibly. He's so sweet. He's so sweet. He's just so sweet, and he tells me I'm beautiful. He doesn't criticize me at all. So nothing of this comes from him, right? So there are changes happening here and now, at least started to kind of something that's kind of disrupting this picture of I'm ugly, I'm unlovable, I'm a monster, but I'm still holding on to it. And I wonder, is it because I'm afraid of this change? Is that part of it? You understand what I mean? It's not just that I'm stuck in the past, in the parts from the past, but that there's also something that is afraid of this change, and that seems to be happening, and that's why the parts are pouncing on me even now, even if I'm not. And it's all coming from me. I mean, my daughter was mad at me, but she's not mad at me anymore, and she was, So it's I'll stop there.
And is the change just the relationship mostly?
The change is mostly has happened through the relationship, because nothing else kind of good has happened this fall. I have had very little work, for example. So money has been a negative issue. I've been sick a lot because of COVID, and my foot for 9 weeks. I haven't really run very much. So I haven't gotten that outlet. So the change has been through being really somebody who loves me. And that who can say things to me like, I feel happy, and a big part of why I feel happy right now is because of you. So the feeling that I'm giving something to somebody else, is that it's kind of that shock to my system. Is that possible? Because I haven't heard that before. Or maybe I've heard it a little. But maybe heard it in the beginning of when I was courting Tad, my ex. But it disappeared pretty soon because of we were kind of a mismatch, I think, or whatever we were. And my daughter has not been that kind of loving. She has, because she has, she's can't take me for granted, right? Just like kids do with their parents. So, it's that thing. When we said that, I was thinking, wow, this is huge.
This is huge. And
I am able to make somebody feel good.
And a part had some fear around that.
Yeah, it's like, what's happening here? It's kind of the earth is shifting a little. And then I still hold on to, I'm ugly. I'm unlovable. I'm a monster. I did something for myself and now I'm coming back. And what if I'd given my daughter COVID, right?
Mm-hmm.
I should have been wearing a mask the whole time I was there just to protect her.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I wonder if these are the same parts. The one that says you're a monster, also being the one that's afraid of the change. If someone loves you, then its job or its story doesn't add up.
Exactly. That's what I started thinking about yesterday or the day. I think it was yesterday, actually. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. Ready to get to know that part?
Yeah, I am.
Okay.
And it's, I am. I think I am. I hope I am. I am.
Okay. How do you notice it in your body? Either the fear of the change or the my fault monster.
Okay, no, I'm not in touch with that right now. Right now, I was in touch with, wow, I'm making somebody feel good.
Mm-hmm.
And that was kind of a really tingly feeling. How is that possible? It was like, wow, it was scary. I'm sitting here, and that was what I kind of first got in touch with after I kind of told you.
Okay. And how do you feel towards that part?
It's like, it's like it's saying something like, oh, it can't be true. It's too much. What am I going to do about it? I don't know how to react to that.
Mm-hmm.
It kind of creates some chaos inside me.
Yeah. Okay. How do you feel towards the part as you notice it there?
I don't know how to describe it. It's and then of course I blanked. I blanked.
That's okay. Welcome, blanking parts.
Yeah. It's
There's no wrong answer to how you're feeling when the part comes up and you notice it. You want to embrace it. You want to kick it out. You want to feeling curious. You're feeling scared.
Maybe all of those. But let's see.
Okay. We can acknowledge all of them.
It's like it's pushing against. Oh gosh, this is hard. It's it's like it's like there's too much there. There are too many feelings that come up. It's like it's like I'm something. It's like there are some force that is pushing against some kind of, well, it's like I'm inside something. There is a force that is inside something, whatever that's made of.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And it's pushing against it. And it's like it wants to become bigger. And then it's afraid that if it's coming out, it's too much that will come out.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And it has to keep it contained.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah,
I can recall us working with a part that was dealing with that.
Yes.
Same kind of issue.
Yeah. It's you know, it's almost like, well, I know nothing about physics, so just laugh at me. But it's almost like, you know, it's almost like a magnetic field, something that's really stirring.
Uh-huh.
And it's also, and there's one magnet, two magnets holding something in check, you know, holding it so it doesn't get out.
Okay.
But it's like it's nothing really negative in it. It's mostly it's more like an awe, AWE.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know, it's something. It's
doesn't know how to respond.
Yeah, but it's there's a lot of energy there. There's a lot of energy, and there's a lot of color. And then there are these, and there is something that try to contain it because it doesn't know what will happen.
Yeah, that's the scared one, trying to contain it.
That's a scared one.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And
yep, go ahead.
I don't know. It's hard to kind of put this into a me and my parts framework because it's just so much color and energy.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah.
Okay.
Oh no, my daughter is coming home. I'll ignore her. She knows I'm with you.
Okay. Well, it's totally fine if it's difficult to put into words. And one way to get into that kind of parts framework is to consider how you are feeling towards these parts.
Yeah.
Are you feeling curious about them? Are you feeling open to discovering more about them?
Yes,
okay.
I am.
Awesome.
I am curious.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm other things too, but I am curious.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. And if there's a lot going on, that's fine. We can go slowly. You could just let them know that you're curious.
So now we are talking about, so what we are working on now is the change, right? We're not working on the monster or the ugly, because those are different.
We can go to whatever parts you'd like, but if these are the ones that you're noticing now, then
yeah. And I think it seems like the monster and the ugly are part of kind of the whole that holds this in place, you know?
Yes.
This firework holds it there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's the one I was hoping to target, or thought that we were targeting. Yeah, the one that's holding it in.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Because that one, I think it's easier to put words on, because the other is you know, it's kind of unformed. It's just wow, ooh, ah. Like,
yeah. Okay. So let it know that you're curious about it.
Mm-hmm.
And you could try asking it what it wants you to know.
Which part?
The one that's holding it all in. The one that's afraid of change.
Yeah. I think okay, so part of it seems like, since there are at least two of them, right? There's the monster and ugly, but maybe they're the same thing, but at least they come up as two different. They are protecting me. They're afraid that that I will soar too high and then be super disappointed, and then just fall right back down. Well, that has happened.
Yes. Yeah, so that makes sense to you that they would be...
That makes sense to me.
Great. Show them that. Show them that it makes sense to you.
That totally makes sense to me. And I can actually see something, well, I can see one kind of little movie going on where something like that happened when I can see one when I was in my 20s, but there were probably several that went on that had nothing to do with what's happening actually now. It happened when I was really little. You know, when I kind of got my hope up, and then everything was taken away, or I wanted something like, I mean, the ultimate one, which I can probably work on till I'm 500 years old. I mean, that's losing my father that way, because that was what I wanted. I wanted him, and then he was taken away. I didn't soar then first, but there could be many others. But let's not just do that. Let's just talk to these parts, and they may have something else to say.
Okay.
But they are protecting me, like the ugly one. You're ugly.
Do they notice you? Are they aware of you noticing them? And if not, can you just invite them to notice you?
The one who tells me I'm ugly, I can see. And I'm conscious of it right now, because there is something in me saying, yes, you are ugly. So that one is speaking to me pretty loudly.
It's calling someone ugly. I wonder if it's directing that at the curious self.
Could be. Yeah. Yeah.
Just let them know that you're here, you're present now.
I'm here. Yeah.
Is there any more that they want to show you or let you know about their jobs, what it's like for them?
I think I have to take them one at a time.
Yes.
Let's see if I can go to the one that says I'm ugly.
Okay.
Or says that something in me is ugly. Another part is ugly.
All right. Yeah. What's it want you to know? Why is that so important to it?
Because it needs me to be on the alert. And it needs me to I think they both are protecting me. It's get the same thing, but let's stay here anyway. Let's say that this relationship ended. I mean, nobody knows,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
I would have to be able to make sense of that.
Mm-hmm. And being ugly would be one way to make sense of it.
It would be one way to make sense of it.
Yeah. So it helps you / the system make sense of when there is a loss.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So that I wouldn't completely, go under or whatever that means, because there was a reason for it,
Yeah. Right. Because if someone left and you weren't ugly, then you would feel like you would go under. Parts would feel like you're going under.
At least then I would have to find another reason, probably. If I didn't want that person to leave, right? If I wanted the person to leave too, then, then I had my reasons. But if he left, if he just left, right? Or just said, I don't want to have anything to do with you. And I was left like shell-shocked. Because that happened to me actually when I was in my 20s. And I wasn't ugly then. I've seen pictures. But anyway.
May have happened to you at younger ages too with your father.
Yeah, probably did.
Yeah.
Because when that happened when I was in my 20s, I'd been so high and I didn't realize. And I was like, it was like, what happened? I don't understand. Mm-hmm. And I felt so shame.
Yes.
So shame. And it was such a shock to my system. But probably the reason it was such a shock to my system, because it reminded me of something in my past, right? That was part of it.
Yeah.
So it's almost like, so it's like I need something to protect me in case that happens.
Yeah.
And inside, I am super scared that would happen.
Right.
Because that shock or those shocks still resonate inside me.
Yes.
And, I'm protecting myself from feeling that again.
Mm-hmm. How does it feel for the part that says you're ugly to just hear you speaking for it in this way and just seeing how it does, why it does, what it does. How does it feel being noticed by you?
It's a little weary
Mm-hmm.
because even though I'm curious about it, I am kind of, I don't know if I like it that much.
Yeah, well,
Who likes to be called out?
it doesn't feel good, right?
Yeah.
Maybe you could ask it if it likes it, if it likes its job.
Do you like? Always reminding me that I'm ugly.
Mm-hmm.
No, I don't think it does.
Okay.
I think it thinks it's tiresome.
Yeah.
It's kind of, it's a habit.
Mm-hmm.
It's something kind of it's programmed to do.
Yes. It feels kind of stuck doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Just let it know that you see that.
Yeah. I see that. But it's not pleasant for you either. It's like, okay, I have to do this again. Press the button. You're ugly.
Yeah.
You're ugly. You're ugly.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. You could try showing it some appreciation for its intention and for its years of effort doing a job that it doesn't really like in order to protect you from feelings that it thinks would be even worse.
Yeah, I do appreciate that that's protecting me.
Mm-hmm.
Even if it hasn't felt good the way it has protected me.
Right.
I see that it has protected me from something that it has helped me. I see that it has, I see its intention to protect me from something that is actually absolutely earth-shakingly painful.
Yes.
And I see it helping me kind of making sense of the world in a way.
Right. Right.
Yeah, and kind of, even if I'm not content with it, I kind of say, okay, that's how it has to be.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. What would it rather be doing if it didn't have to work so hard?
I just saw a picture of it. I don't know what I saw a picture of. I saw a picture of a face next to a big makeup table.
Uh-huh.
Like it wanted to kind of put lots of lipstick, blue eyeshadow, and just stand there and look at itself in the mirror.
If would that would be fun for it?
Yeah, it was almost not it was almost like it wanted kind of to play in some way, but it wanted to play with the face. I don't know. It wasn't.
Okay.
I don't know if it was a real face. I didn't hear any words. I just saw a glimpse of a picture that it had kind of a makeup pencil or whatever in its hand. If it was a hand.
Yeah.
I think it wanted to go out party. I wanted to do. Maybe just listen to music and not think. I don't know.
Okay. And how old does it think that you are?
I think it still thinks I'm 17.
Okay.
Or maybe it thinks I'm younger. I think first it said 17, but then I got a picture in my head of me with that, that patch on my eye that I had. I already thought I was ugly then. And my father actually said to me, he was so sad, he said, why didn't I take the patch off? That I always thought my sister was beautiful and I was ugly. So I had it in me when I was really young. It was 17, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And what is it that your dad said?
He said, I remember him saying when I was an adult, he was just reminiscing, just reminiscing about me and my sister. And he said, you always said, it was so sad to hear. You always said that you were ugly and your sister was beautiful. You always looked at yourself as being ugly.
Hmm.
He was kind of reminiscing. I think he was in his 70s or maybe early 80s then. He remembered that.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So the part thinks you're 17, maybe younger. Yeah. Update it with your real age. And then you could just ask it what it needs from you. How you can help it relax or help it get to that party or to the fun makeup. I think it's saying I don't know if it's saying it or if it's my mind saying it, my mind where I am today, my age. Mm-hmm. It's because something is saying that it cannot relax until I accept. You cannot relax until I accept. Or I'm ready to accept. Or that, that I'm ready to accept and ready to open myself up to change. Is it saying that? It's just a rational mind saying that. It's not sure because it's saying that it is part of my fear of change. So either I have to become
Or maybe that's what this is what it's saying. I think it's saying that it is part of my fear of change. I think it's saying that.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think it's saying that it needs me to stop rejecting that fear.
Okay.
Because the fear is bigger than being ugly. So there's more that I have to look at. I think that's what it's saying. It's more that I have to look at.
Okay. So it's saying the fear is really important, and other parts keep rejecting the message because they're hearing you're ugly and they're saying go away. But it's saying no, there's more than that to this fear of changing.
There's more than so I think what it's saying is that it is part of that fear of change.
Mm-hmm.
Oh gosh, it's so unclear. It is part of that fear of change, but the fear is bigger than it, and there is more I have to accept and learn to know and or meet.
Yeah.
And get to terms with and and befriend, whatever you want to call it.
I'm curious if when it says the fear is bigger than it, does it feel like the fear is bigger as in it's deeper and it's kind of an exile fear, or does it feel more like it's a bigger protector?
That's actually a good question. It's more like that it's an exile fear.
Yes.
Yeah. There is something there. There is something there that's it's almost like what it almost feels like is that okay, this is because I did tell you probably a while ago that I went through a period where I was heavily OCD, and had these thoughts, it was repeating itself ad nauseum. But it's almost like that I'm ugly. It's almost like it's not an OCD thought at it, because I don't think I'm OCD anymore. But it's almost like there is this. It's going around and around because it's protecting something deeper.
Yes. Okay.
There is something under there.
Yes.
Could that be the monster, or is something else?
I have my hypothesis.
Okay, I would love to hear it.
That this is exactly like every protector in exile. That we have a protector. It's working hard, and it has a fear. So it does what it does. But what it's trying to protect you from is an even greater fear. And it's saying that greater fear is what needs to be accepted for it to relax.
Yeah.
And that's what I tell people too, that the fear of the exile, which is the bigger, deeper fear, pain, burden, is what needs to be accepted, witnessed, and repaired or healed in order for protectors to relax.
Yeah. That sounds so true.
Great. Good. And it's that bigger fear that is so scary to look at, and it's why exiles are exiled.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Again, you're super smart, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
that's
IFS is super works, and it just matches the model.
Yeah. And we may I'm not saying we get to go there directly, but it sounds like we are sort of back in a territory where we were 6 weeks ago.
Yes. Yeah. And I would suggest, or one thing we could do is just learn, without going there directly, like you said, what is that bigger fear? What direction is that? Who's carrying that? Even if we're not going to go there and settle it all or witness it all right now.
It's very little. She feels really young.
Mm-hmm.
She could be a composite,
Mm-hmm.
because my trauma wasn't one thing. It was kind of a continuum.
Yeah. What else do you notice about her?
Oh, she's very scared.
Uh-huh.
She's very young. She's very scared.
Mm-hmm.
She's very lonely.
Mm-hmm.
But she's far away. A deep, deep hole.
Yes. Yeah.
And it's almost like I can just hear the echo, a faint echo.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. Let her know that you hear her.
Yeah. And she's very tightly wound up, or whatever that sound is. I mean, just kind of nodded
Mm-hmm.
nodded up.
Just let her know that you notice her.
She's fear-stricken.
Mm-hmm. She's got that bigger fear.
Yeah, it's almost like, if she was a fundamentalist Christian, it would be like the fear of the devil or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
She thinks or she feels. I don't know. I don't even know if she's verbal. I have no idea. But she's ready for punishment.
Ready for punishment.
Ultimate punishment.
Mm-hmm. Okay. How do you feel towards her?
I wish I could reach her. My arms aren't long enough.
There's a long way to go to get to her.
It's almost like I have to have magic, really long arms.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Maybe you can just send her that message that it feels far away, but that you can hear her and see her.
And I really, I would just love to hug her tight, even if I don't understand what it is. It doesn't really matter.
Do you have any other parts that would object to you getting closer to her now?
I don't see any.
Okay. The one that says you're ugly, is it okay with you?
I think that was the one that opened the way, actually.
I think so. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So whatever feels right and getting a little closer. Just being respectful of her. Whatever feels right for her.
Just wants warmth.
Okay. So now you see that. you could even just kind of introduce yourself as the one who wants to get to know her.
She wants something. She wants warmth that lasts, that's not taken away abruptly.
Yeah. Okay. How does she feel about you seeing her and her sharing this with you?
I was getting a response to that. She's not against it. She doesn't feel like that. At this point, she doesn't feel she has to protect herself, or she doesn't feel shameful for having shared that with me.
Great. Yeah, that's what I was looking for. Any concerns that she might have, or if you know.
But she's still pretty far away.
Okay.
So I don't know how she would react if I tried to give her something of what she says she's craving, or tried to tell her that I am not judging her, or that, I'll save her from the ultimate punishment, or whatever.
Right. And I think that's great that you're noticing, that you're aware of that, and having that kind of caution. And also that you notice that there are parts that want to rush in and hug her, right? Usually what I'm advising at this stage is witnessing. So
because
witnessing is just asking her to share more and closing that distance, one step at a time, as she feels more and more comfortable telling you about herself and what it's been like for her.
Saying that she's so unsafe. Because there is nothing to trust and to hold on to, nothing that stays, nothing that lasts. And she seemed...
She's seeing...
She seems shell-shocked because it seems like, I don't know how many times, but so many times, things have just been taken away. It's taken away.
Yeah.
So there's kind of nothing tangible to hold on to. Everything kind of she holds, it kind of just falls apart. It just leaves.
Yeah. Just let her know that you're getting that. Are you able to see her better? Do you have a more clear view of her age or anything else about her?
No,
Okay.
I think she must be a composite.
Mm-hmm.
Because, well,
It's okay.
so she could be 5 or 6.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm trying not to kind of think about story, but it's
Great. Yeah.
It seems like everything cracked then.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, not first of all, but I was told that I was a monster and that my sister could just attack me because what I had done to her when I was 2. So it was all my fault.
Is this coming from her?
Not it's coming from me.
Okay. One of the reasons that I asked about her age is because I was thinking of kind of bringing our conversation to an end and not, we talked about not going directly to her.
Yeah.
And I feel like it sounds like she's probably got a lot for you to witness. So I'm just looking at the clock and thinking,
Yeah.
I want to be able to give her that full time. I know that you and I also don't have anything on the calendar, and I'm happy to get back to you right away about getting back on the calendar soon, if you'd like.
I would love to. I'm going to be away from the 25th through the 2nd.
Okay. It's possible I could find something before then.
Okay.
But yeah, I'll follow up after this. And yeah, that's one of the reasons I was asking kind of, can you see her? Would it feel okay to bookmark this and to let her know that you will be back and that you want to hear her whole story?
Yeah. I mean, I have a hard, I see something, I see someone, we call her someone, not a something.
Mm-hmm.
Someone very young and vulnerable.
Mm-hmm.
So putting an age on her, then I have to go into stories.
Right.
And make sense of it.
I get it. Yeah.
And she could be much younger. Maybe there was something cataclysmic that happened that I don't know about.
And she could be composite, and she could be a changing age. So it's just one way that I try to label parts, but it's not. It can be counterproductive. So
yeah. No, she's
whatever. Mm-hmm. Great. Is there anything that you can provide for her that would feel safe or comforting, other than letting her know that we want to get to know her more?
I can tell her
Mm-hmm.
that I will check in with her often, and then I will sit exactly where I sit now and just look into that tunnel where I can see her.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to go anywhere. I'm just going to sit there.
Right.
And if she can...
Witnessing. Yeah, and if it feels right, you can do that on your own. I mean...
Well, at least that she knows I'm not going away. I'm not just leaving. I saw her far in that hole. So I'm going to still be there. I'm there. I'm not going anywhere.
Yes. And we also can remember how we got here, which is kind of through that, your ugly part. If that's the one that shows up and is in the foreground, and, whenever you see that part, you can also let it know that you're still interested in the bigger fear that's behind it, and that you want to be there for that too.
And I can say, thank you for protecting that bigger fear, even if I don't know what it is.
Right. And thank you for pointing us to the way.
Yeah. Yeah.
How does the young one feel about all of this that we're talking about? Does she have any requests of you in this moment?
Sounds like he's saying, don't leave.
Mm-hmm.
And then I thought I heard her say, just you being here makes it less cold.
That's right. Yeah, that's what we're going for. Your presence and your warmth. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I take some of the draft away. It's not.
Yeah. Maybe there's something you can kind of leave with her. You know, if you're not going to continue in this witnessing of her at this moment, you could ask her if there's...
Can I give you a blanket? Can I send it through the tunnel?
Yeah.
A soft blanket.
Uh-huh.
And maybe something warm to drink.
Yeah.
Socks.
Yeah, and just let her know that she's not alone and that she will be with you and you will continue coming to her and getting to know her and figuring out how you can help her.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Glad we're connecting with you.
Yeah.
You can't move to Vietnam, we told you. That's cute.
Yeah. You want me to bring up this part at the start of our next conversation?
Yes. This is I mean, I've kind of been going in circles around that for the last 6 weeks. I don't know why I jumped so quickly out of our last talk. Usually I don't, but something must have told me that I didn't want to be there, and then I followed that voice.
Okay. Just feel like a good place to stop.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm curious now. I'm really curious. But I won't push it. I won't push it because I think it has to develop organically.
Yeah, and you can stay curious and not push it. Like again, I mean, I'm concerned about kind of my own presence and availability. But if you're comfortable being there and witnessing as you are, or checking in with her tomorrow or whatever, just whatever feels right for you and her and any other parts.
Yeah, it's ready. So and any time that you could fit me in, I would be grateful.
I will.
So 24th is kind of the day we are celebrating in this house. Otherwise, and then we're leaving on the 25th. But then, before the 24th, after the 2nd.
Okay. I will go check that in the next probably day and send you an email. Okay.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thanks to your parts. Thanks to that one that says you're ugly. Just let it know that we're gonna keep doing what it asked, which is to learn about and accept that bigger fear.
That bigger fear.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, thank you. I have to thank you to that part. Yeah.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have gotten there without you. I would have just
I
would have stopped with the being ugly one. I wouldn't have gone.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, the protectors are great for that. I mean, it's one more reason why all of the parts are welcome, is that
all parts are welcome.
They're there for a reason, and they all have something to show you.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'll let you go.
Okay. Have a great night, and I'll be in
too.
touch.
Yeah. Good night.
Okay. Bye. Okay. So you have a part you'd like to get to know better?
Yeah. First, I want to, I was thinking, gosh, I want to thank you for having such a quick turnaround on the session.
Yeah. Thanks for your patience.
Well, I've been brewing on this for a while. I think it's a long time since I saw you, almost a month. I can't. My brain doesn't really work well thinking back in time unless I kind of have some place to put it on some event. But anyway, okay. So I'll try to speak slowly so I can be with myself when I talk, because otherwise, if I blabber, I'm just up in my head.
Sounds good.
So it's continuing on where we were last time. I don't recall exactly how we ended, but it had what we were working on was that I was kind of a little bit puzzled and maybe more frustrated that this I'm ugly thing was rearing its head again.
Right.
And that I was very obsessed about it and had spent money, and I was almost prepared to spend a lot of money that I don't have.
Right. Yep.
And like I said, I don't remember where we ended, but since then, I believe I understand where it comes from and not what it's all about, but let's see what it's about, what it's a little about, because there's a lot. So I need to give you some background, if that's okay.
Well, just before you do, I do remember where we ended because I just listened back and looked at my notes.
Yeah.
And we did get to a part, kind of bigger fear underneath the part that was saying you're ugly.
Yeah. And that is the fear that I'm kind of getting closer to.
Right.
And I know we have been working with either several aspects, several exiles or several parts of the same exile that was like 6, 7, and 8 years old, that age. And so I was 6 when my mother abducted us. So I had a big loss then, right? I was 7 when they put me in the hospital for 12 weeks, 3 occasions of 4 weeks. Well, I would say that was pretty traumatic.
Mm-hmm.
Then very soon after I got back from the hospital, it was that spring, and I haven't put these together, but I think I'm putting them together correctly now. And this is actually important that I do that. Was then my grandmother committed suicide.
Mm-hmm.
That was that spring. She just walked out. I think I've said it on 2 or 3 occasions. She just walked out of the house and down to the river, and yeah. So before that happened, I had been a zombie. I'd been depressed. I'd been desperate inside and all of that. But it was after, I believe, God knows, but that's what it feels to me. It was after that happened that I really put on the mask. Because after she left, there was a wall in our house. The wall, the adults, the 2 adults who were left, which was my grandfather and my mother, closed themselves completely off. No talking about it to me, who was 7, and my sister, who was 2.5 years younger. We were just left to fend for ourselves. My sister went to kindergarten in a summer dress in March in Norway. She was 4 years old, halfway buttoned. Nobody, it was like, they closed themselves in.
Mm-hmm.
And I think what I felt was their shame. Because my grandfather, being a very upstanding man of the person in the community, he was kind of one of the local leaders in a way.
Mm-hmm.
Having a wife who commits suicide, something must be wrong in the family, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And my mother had not that long earlier rushed back home, being divorced with 2 traumatized kids, right? So. And this was 1966 in a very Lutheran little town. So the setting was right for shame. So I took upon myself that shame that they felt. I don't know if I took it away from them, but as a child, I felt that shame. And in addition to that, I felt it was all my fault. She had disappeared because it was my fault, because my mom had actually said, I don't know how many weeks before, when me and my sister had an argument, if you kids don't behave more, grandma will have to go away. Because she had poor health. She had been in hospitals a few times. She had had nervous breakdowns and all that. So, she had a history. That's my mother was saying that.
Mm-hmm.
So in addition to their shame, I felt it was all my fault. And, and there was a wall there. There was no response from them. We were completely shut out. I don't know for how long. And I think it was then that I put on that mask, that I must have decided that I have to, what's the word for that? I have to, what do you do when you're Christian and you try to do something good after you've sinned?
Repent?
Yeah, you have to do penance or something like that. Whatever it is I had to do. And my penance was that I had to put on this mask and show the world what a good granddaughter I was of my grandfather, and kind of protect the family. And that I was super, super afraid that anybody would see me. So I had these images of myself being a drill girl thing. Look at me, I'm the granddaughter of so-and-so. We are great, right? I had this image of myself just doing this. And I was just so scared, and I felt like inside that mask there was this kettle with all the dirty, ugly, yucky things that you could think of, smell, whatever. Anybody just saw that. And here's the kicker: the kicker is that so that was ugly, right? That was ugly. What was beyond the mask? What was under the mask? And now, when I'm in a relationship, that fear is coming up. And the fear is saying, if he sees under the mask and he sees how ugly I am, he will leave me too.
Yes. Okay.
That is, it might not be the whole thing, maybe, but that sounds true to me. That is, and that wasn't ugly as appearance, but still
Felt ugly.
Ugly. And
the little girl felt ugly and
inside,
and used a mask, which is like a protector, to a manager that managed her appearance on the outside.
And there's more manners. I mean, she didn't manage what I looked like, but what little girls don't think about that. But
Yeah.
So now so that's why I'm panicking right now inside. Even I'm panicking. So I'm kind of living a dual life in a way, because when I'm with him, I don't think that much about it. But he lives pretty far away, so I don't see him that often. It's kind of a weekend thing, every second weekend or whatever. So, but then when I leave, I get that panic inside, and I'm not complete. I was almost completely taken over it before our last session, but I'm not completely taken over it anymore, but it's there. It's kind of,
And the panic is about if he sees under the mask,
you see I'm ugly. But what he'll see is I'm ugly. That has, to me, the way it has been interpreted in me is that he'll see, because it's almost like I'm saying to myself, okay, he's infatuated or he's in love or whatever he is, so he doesn't really see how old and ugly I am. But when he sees that, he'll leave.
Okay.
And it's so connected to that fear, I think, that if somebody sees that ugliness, they will leave too. My grandmother left, my father,
yes,
the whole world.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think it's pretty existential.
Yeah. So there's a part that feels like on the inside it's ugly, and that would be the part we could come to know and help out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we have to go all the way back there.
Okay. So the sensations that come up when it's feeling that way, what are they like in your body?
So I could just feel my facial muscles really tense. I felt that right now when I was kind of talking and thinking about it. So that's one part of my body, like kind of. I think when I have been in it or been sort of with it over the last few weeks, and I could slightly feel it now. It sits in my stomach, and it also saps my energy. It's like completely saps my energy.
Right. It's really strong. It sits in your stomach. How do you feel towards it right now?
It feels towards the ugly part or the little girl who is hiding the ugly part?
Whichever part saps your energy. It feels like it's sapping your energy.
It's what's sapping the energy right now is the fear that the ugliness will be exposed.
Right. And so there's a little girl who feels that she has to hide that.
Mm-hmm.
And that's using up a lot of energy, her
That's
fear.
using up a lot of energy because if that's exposed, that
Then
has consequences.
Right. How do you feel towards that little girl?
I was out. Well, okay. So
all parts are welcome.
Yeah, I feel. I almost get teary.
Mm-hmm.
It's like it's a big sorrow there.
Mm-hmm. Is that a compassionate sorrow?
Yes, it is a compassionate sorrow. And what I see, which I never saw before, because I used to say, well, I've said for years, ha, 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 I thought it was my fault, kind of flippantly. And then I kind of gone away, left it, right? Mm-hmm. With my grandmother. I've never stopped there. I never stopped there. I kind of told cute stories about, I was hoping that she would come in a big umbrella down from the sky, or I would go and get her or something like that. But I've never stopped there and felt at that hurt and bewilderment and fear and ice cold exclusion that not only that it was my fault, but that I was excluded. I wasn't kind of part of. There was no way for me to be sad or express it.
Okay.
And it was also this incredible fear because she was a little weird, like my whole family, but she was the only one who kind of made sure that, we got up in the morning. I told you before, brushing my teeth. That was after she left that, I was left in the wilderness with that. That I got up in the morning, I washed my face, I brushed my teeth, there was food on the table. She was the only kind of normal one that kind of made a little structure in that chaos.
Yeah.
And then she was gone.
Right.
And it was my fault. And I was in an ice box. And there was nothing to hold on to because the grown-ups completely disappeared.
Right. Still feeling that compassionate sorrow for her?
I do.
Just show her that and let her know that you can stop now and feel with her and witness with her
the pain,
all of these things that all this
felt.
pain. Yeah.
Incredible pain she felt.
Mm-hmm.
And that bottomless guilt of their shame, and then nobody took care of her. All that at the same time.
Does she notice you there?
Does she notice me? I think so. She sees me as kind of a big shadow that has not clear, yeah, she sees me there.
Mm-hmm.
But we are not close. She's in a different world. She is in a world of utter despair and pain.
Yeah.
And
how would it feel to just let her know that you see that she's in that different world, and to either just ask her if it feels okay for you to get closer with her?
I think it's okay that I can come get a little closer.
Mm-hmm.
But there is something there that she doesn't think if I saw that ugliness, I couldn't take it either.
Okay. And how do you respond to that when you hear her saying that to you and about you?
Yeah.
That you wouldn't be able to take it? What's your response?
My response is I can take it. I don't think it's true.
Good. Yeah, you could just let her know that you can take it and that you don't think that that's true. And maybe other parts have told her, has sent her that message, and other people. And you can see that that's been hard on her.
Mm-hmm.
But that you can be with her just where she is.
Yeah.
And you won't leave her if she shows you more of herself.
Yeah, I won't.
Mm-hmm.
She's okay. She's still. She still wants to hide that ugliness from me, whatever that is.
Okay. Yeah.
And
it's okay. She didn't have to show you.
And even if I say, it wasn't your fault. It wasn't your fault. It wasn't your fault.
Yeah, well, she's felt like it is.
Yeah, she doesn't. Yeah.
So maybe, she doesn't feel like she's comfortable right now showing you kind of that ugliness that she feels like she's hiding. She does feel like it's her fault. So maybe you could just be with her in the way that she is right now.
Yeah.
And just, ask her to show you what it's been like for her to have to feel like she has to hide that ugliness or that it is ugly. Ask her what it's like for her to believe that it's her fault.
It made her not dare to get too close to me. she had to keep a distance.
Mm-hmm. That makes sense to you.
Yeah, makes sense. Because she thought if they come close, they will start judging.
Mm-hmm.
And they will start prying.
Mm-hmm.
And they will start... Yeah.
Does she feel safe like you and I aren't prying and judging right now?
I think so.
Okay.
I don't. Yeah.
If she feels like we are, or if we have parts that come up that are, she can just let us know.
Yeah.
And we can look out for that. We're really going to look out for any parts that are prying or judging. Just really want to understand what it was like for her.
She was alone because she couldn't really be close to anyone because there was no one to be trusted. And then she was always on the alert.
Mm-hmm.
Always kind of being 2 steps ahead of herself to make sure that, well, not to make sure, but to try to make sure that, no one came too close or no one was looking and no one was looking too close. And then, of course, she was, her face was stiff. Just like, her facial muscles were stiff because she had to hold it all together.
And you're okay with the way she's showing you all this?
Yeah. Yes.
Feeling any closer? Or do you want to invite her closer?
I feel kind of I'm moving closer.
Mm-hmm. Just whatever feels right for her and for you.
And then, so she had to become so super self-sufficient. And that was super, super lonely, being so little. But she had to close down any longings, any wishes for warmth. And
I was just going to ask if she feels like you're getting it.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I think she does.
Great.
Because
just stay with it.
Even when we talked about a few times ago about a 20-something-year-old, she was in there. And that person I'm much closer to. So
just show her how much space you have for her and her feelings. She can show you anything. You really want to understand.
She's holding so tight because she can't lose anything more than she's already lost. So she has to keep that mask on. And hide that ugliness because if she did one more quote thing, it just seems like she couldn't.
Would it feel okay for her to just share with you 1% of what's behind that mask and some of that ugliness. And you might even let her know that you don't have to share it with me or anyone else, but just see how she feels about just you and her, just letting you see a little bit more of her. And if she's not okay with that, that's fine too. She doesn't have to.
Let's try it. Would she?
Just ask her how she would feel about that. There's no pressure. And again, none of it needs to be shared with me, anybody else.
Some of the ugliness, and this she can share.
Make sure it's all right with her.
Yeah.
So that's the important thing, is that she feels safe with you. And that you know her story and how she felt.
Well, what I feel she's saying now, and then I'm saying, but that's not ugly, you know.
Okay.
So what she's saying is that
doesn't need to be shared with me. She believes if she shows it, people will disappear. She'll lose more.
Yeah, because it is.
Yeah, just show her that you'll stay by her, that she can show you whatever she wants. You'll be there. It's not going to scare you off.
It's a strong will. She's taking up too much space.
You all right with that? How she's showing you?
Yeah. And and I think I'm still afraid of taking up too much space. So yeah, that rings.
Yeah, so you can let her know that you get it.
Yeah,
you understand that.
I get that.
You feel her inside of you. You feel that fear that she has.
I even had a dream about that. It was. I had a dream about that. It's only a few nights ago, and it was me and my special friend, and we were doing something, and I was being very exuberant, and then a voice in my head, "Oh, you're showing too much. He won't be able to take it." That's only my dream.
Right. Yeah. And that's also connected to her. She feels like she can't possibly be exuberant, right?
Yeah.
Because that would mean showing too much.
And the strong will also meant that, she had a strong no, right?
Yeah. Just let her know you're getting all that and it makes sense.
And I think she believes that her strong will and her strong no, that her grandmother couldn't take that.
So she had to hide that too. She wasn't even being strong-willed wasn't safe.
No, and sometimes it's kind of peeped out, right? When I argue with my sister, maybe kind of was a flash, right? But and that strong will was ugly.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
I think my mother did everything she could to tame that strong will, because she was afraid of it.
Yeah.
Because before the abduction, I was screaming at the top of my lungs, I want to stay with Daddy.
Yeah. How would it feel to just ask her how it would feel for you to go back there in her time, back there in those scenes where her mother is trying to tame her strong will, and for you to be there for her in the way that she needed someone?
Yeah. Okay. Because what she heard was that the strong will was ugly and selfish, and it was just like her father, and her father was a scum of the earth.
Mm-hmm. So are you going back in that time with her?
Yeah.
Okay. What did she need from someone? What does she need in that moment? Just take your time. It can be whatever she wants. It can be someone to talk to her mother for her or with her. It can be anything that she wants. Someone to be there with her.
Okay, so this is where I am. I was about to try to take her hand and say something to that mother. But then I wasn't able to defend that strong will. I was going to say, let her be, I was going to say something like, you just go away or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
You just leave
mm-hmm.
her because her strong will is, I couldn't find a positive word to put on it.
Okay. It doesn't have to be in words. You also can take as much time as you need and have as many tries as you like.
But the significance of that is that I'm not sure if I'm comfortable, 100% comfortable with that strong will.
Okay. Yeah. Just check for those parts. It all makes sense. She wasn't comfortable with her strong will. She had to be uncomfortable about it. She wasn't able to defend herself or to advocate for herself to her mother in that way. And maybe, you said you wanted to take her hand and say that. She doesn't have to be present if she doesn't want to. So it's really about what she needs. If she wants to see you do that, if she wants to write a letter, or however she would like that to be done or not done, it's what she feels like she needs.
But this is what I've been condemned for my whole life.
Right.
Being strong-willed. We talked about that at 20 or something, that, did weird things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What is just my way or the highway?
And it's okay to just take your time learning how to accept that with her and, again, kind of advocate or just be proud of that with her if that's what she needs. If that's something that you haven't done with her, before or haven't done enough, just let her know that you can keep trying.
Just know I want to tell her that I want her strong will to have a lot of space.
Mm-hmm.
Because if this strong will is cornered and just giving, like almost choked, and only way it can come out is in gasps once in the blue moon.
Mm-hmm. And that's another thing you can offer is to go to a different space. You shouldn't have to go revisit all the memories. You can, and you can also find another space, invite her to another space where she does feel like her strong will is safe if she's comfortable going there.
Because what I want to say to this mother is that don't you see you're strangling her life force?
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And I don't know if she's present or not. Stop strangling her.
Yeah, you can say that. And the little girl can witness that or not, whatever feels right for her.
I don't know if she's there, but
if that's what she needed.
Stay away from her.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Stay away from her. Just leave her. Leave her.
Mm-hmm.
Stay away.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. How does the little girl feel knowing that you've done that?
It feels, I should imagine, just kill that woman. Oh.
It's okay for her to have those feelings too.
Mm.
And it's okay to engage whatever fantasy or redo feels right for you and her. It's not uncommon for parts to want to burn the house down or whatever else.
Oh. Yeah, wouldn't that be lovely, that house? This precious house.
It's whatever feels right for her.
Yeah, that precious house.
Mm-hmm.
Where the little girl was almost strangled to death.
Mm-hmm.
And when her strong will came up, it came up like in weird gurgles. That may not have been pretty. And it was just turned into a survival mechanism.
Yeah. So again, looking for what it is that she needed from someone, how she would like to redo any of those scenes.
I don't know if this is me or it's her. But she wants to open something. She wants to make something, like make a big space out of something.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and do that. Just let her know she can have whatever space she wants. You can create that with her. She can get away from that precious house if that feels right and have whatever kind of space feels right for her.
I don't know if it's me wanting this for her, or if she wanting it.
Just check with her. And it doesn't have to be perfect, just like going back and redoing scenes doesn't have to be perfect. As long as you're with her, you can keep modifying this stuff. As long as you know how to find her and self can be with her, she can change her space anytime. Just ask her, what does she want to open? What kind of space?
She wants to find a space where it is safe to unlock her strong will.
Okay. That can be
It's
anywhere.
Safe means that it's not coming to come back and judge her or make her feel even uglier or more guilty.
Yeah, a space without judgment. That can be, you can invite her into your time. She can go to a fantasy place. She can have any furnishing, any kind of space she wants.
I don't hear or see where she would like to go.
Okay.
It's what I saw, some kind of desert.
Okay.
As I kind of disregarded it, but it was not a super hot desert. There was just a lot of soft sand.
Yeah, you can go visit there, see how she likes it, see if it feels okay if that's the kind of place where she can unlock her strong will.
And then I was concerned. Is there water? You need water.
You can pipe in some water if needed.
Pipe in some water.
Yeah. What's important, I think, to her is that it's a place without judgment.
Place without walls. A place without judgment. A place where she can just feel the sun on her skin. Not burning. But, like just warming. And this desert landscape, you could kind of sink into the sand, and then the sand changes shape. It has these little hills of sand, and then you can change them.
No judgment.
No judgment, no walls, no hard, nothing hard, no rocks. Just things that can change shape as you move around them and as you lean into it.
Yeah.
And that, I wonder, it's almost like then with her, whether with her will or just, maybe we can say with her will, she's just kind of softly changing things. She doesn't have to put that much effort into it. If she walks, there is this print of a foot in the sand, and then she can cover over it, and then she has a little change. And she can dig a little hole, and then she can. It's very malleable. there's very little resistance there. She can there's no big consequences if things change either, because, just, it's like a gigantic, it's not gigantic space with soft sand.
Does she feel like it's the kind of place she could do some unlocking of her strong will?
At least she doesn't meet resistance.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't know how strong at least she doesn't meet the resistance that she moves around, because she can move everything away. She can make, it's.
Yeah. You just let her know that you can stay there, you can visit her there. That can be her space where the other parts don't come in, the judgment parts don't come in. And that she can keep experimenting and keep making requests of you if she needs something more, or she does want a change of scene.
But she's okay. But I think she also, but that doesn't reassure her that she isn't ugly.
Okay.
It's almost like she wants, how can she get the response?
What did she need from someone?
From me.
What did she need? Give her that response.
I just want to tell her that you're beautiful. You're full of energy and life. And she trusts that is a little truth in that. It's kind of sad, though, I think. Maybe she does think it's sad. That she has to wander around in that sandy part and just... I mean, it's lovely. It seems like a lovely place. But
she can change it or update it over time, however she likes. If it's what's right for her now, then it's what's right for her now.
She has this yearning about being accepted,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that requires that there are other people there.
Okay.
But she doesn't know if she trusts that can ever become true.
Okay. So start with yourself. Yourself is the other person there.
Mm-hmm.
Prove that to her. That you can be there and you can accept her. That you do.
Yes, I do. I think I do. And I'm actually smiling right now because I think I'm kind of feeling, I don't know everything that is in that strong will, but I'm curious.
Yeah. Yeah, she's been holding that in.
Show me.
She's got a lot that she can show you.
Show me what's in there.
Yeah. It might take time.
Yeah.
And it's just about coming back here, showing her that you still accept her, that you're still happy to be in this space with her, or whatever space she wants.
Yeah.
That can change over time. That these things do take time.
Mm.
If you want, you could ask her kind of where in her body that she carries some of these burdens. The burden of feeling ugly, the burden of feeling like it's all her fault. Just see if you can find where she's carrying that in her body and how she would like to give that up.
I think I feel she's at least carrying a lot of it in her belly.
Mm-hmm.
A lot.
Okay. And she can give that up any way that she likes. Mm-hmm. Just any way she likes. You can help her with that.
She wants to pulverize it into tiny, tiny crystals.
Yeah, turn it into sand.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, she wants to just pulverize it.
Okay.
Pulverize it.
Yeah, help her do that. Just tell her to take it out and just keep doing that.
And then the wind can come and just blow it away.
Great. Yeah. Tell her to do that. Tell her to do it till it's all out. Any of those pains, burdens she was carrying in her belly, anywhere else.
Mm. I don't know if it's all out, but a lot have come out.
Okay. The hurt, the bewilderment, ice cold exclusion, missing the guidance from her grandmother, the feeling of it all being her fault, the shame that she took on.
Yeah, it's like she wanted to evaporate the dust crystals. If there are dust molecules, because dust is probably not crystals, dust is probably, they are molecules. Just
How's it feeling?
It feels... I feel I'm emptying stuff out, and it feels like there's more and more space for the strong will. That's left in there. That's not going to be pulverized. It's taking back its space. Taking back its space. Taking back its space from the shame. The guilt. And yeah, like you said, the bewilderment, the despair, the loneliness, the freezing coldness.
Yeah. So any of these steps, you can continue offering her. If anything was not quite complete, you can come back and do more of this. If any of those protectors or judgment or whatever else comes up and tries to get at her again, you can notice them. You can say, hold on, I've got a place with her and for her. You can check back in with her in this place. Does she have any requests around how you do that or when you do that? Or, a lot of times people say check in with them every day for 3 weeks or something. Is there anything like that you want to design with her? Just kind of how to get back here.
Yeah, she wants me to check in with her at least every evening before she goes to bed.
Yeah. Do you feel like something you can do?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I created a big bed for her now, where all this stuff was. Big, big bed.
Sleeping under the stars out there?
No, she's inside my belly.
Okay. Okay, great. She can have it all.
She can have it all. She can be outside if she wants to, but the bed is actually inside my belly.
Great.
Yeah.
Okay. Yep. Keep checking in with her.
Yeah.
If she wants to update anything, you can do that. If she wants to add more people, playmates, whatever, you can do that. But the primary relationship is you and her, and just showing her that you can keep coming back for her. So that you got her now. That she doesn't have to go back to any of those other dark places, anywhere that she doesn't want to be.
But it's quite interesting because that strong will never left, but it became the survival mechanism, right? So that kind of the motor that kind of made her kind of move forward, whatever forward is, just and not stop.
Yep, it's always been in there.
Always been in there, but what see the hope for now is that she can actually enjoy it. It doesn't have to be something that has to be
shameful
or be done for survival or, black and white, or it can be something, it can even be soft. It can be colorful.
Mm-hmm.
And it can be shared.
That's right.
It doesn't have to be held so tight because people would take it away.
Right. And again, that primary sharing is with you, because there may still be other parts and other people that or other people's parts that would want to try to take it away.
Oh yeah.
And that's where, that's where you can speak for her. If the strong will, if it feels like it should be here or there, you can be there with her to kind of make that decision with her. And if it's with the wrong people or the wrong parts, to separate her from that. Get her back in that bed or back in that open space.
I'm sitting here and I'm getting a new understanding of some recent experiences. I won't take the time.
Yeah.
But it's like, I mean,
it's all very, very relevant to how you've been feeling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like earlier this fall, when I was on my mission abroad, everything was super chaotic and frustrating, but I was just so accommodating. Oh yeah, it doesn't matter. I can do that. I can just wait. And inside I was just so miserable. And then finally I got really sick for a week. And I almost had a kind of an emotional breakdown. And the breakdown was, I can't take my will being so kind of, I can't take kind of ignoring what I want so much anymore.
Yeah. Right.
And it had been weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Just let her keep showing it to you.
Yeah. And I was kind of pretending, I can do it. I can just wait.
Mm-hmm. That's what she had to do.
Mm-hmm. I can take anything. Okay. I know what time it is. Thank you, James. Hope it won't be a month till next time.
It won't be a month.
I hope it won't. I can't.
Nope.
Yeah.
No, everything's booked up right now, but I think it will be just less than 2 weeks before I can open up the calendar again. And you'll be the first to know.
Oh, yay!
Of course.
Well, thank you so much. And you said yesterday that, this was going to be a really busy day to you before.
Such a busy day. Mm-hmm.
Well, that makes me really grateful that you took the time. Thank you.
It makes me really grateful too, because I had a very busy day, and this is the fun, relaxing, rewarding, best part of it. So thank you.
Well, I'm glad. It's unbelievable to think. Well, I'll try to believe you.
Yeah.
Do my best.
Yep. I really like it. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you.
Okay. See you next time. I'll be in touch.
Yeah. Yes. Thank you again. Bye. Good night.
Good night. Bye. Do you want to help bring more self-energy to the world? If you'd like to participate in calls or help out with this project in any way, I'd love to hear your ideas. Join the Discord server or contact me at james@liveifs.com. A huge thanks to our audio engineer, Yvonne, for your care and diligence in editing the calls. To every caller for your courage in sharing some of your parts. And to anyone out there getting to know their internal system, keep going. Who knows, that might be the most selfless, helpful thing you can do for others, and you're the only one who can do it. If you'd like to see us reach the largest audience, we must please the almighty suggestion algorithms at iTunes and YouTube, and they don't care about the power of IFS. They're looking for likes and shares and comments, and the sooner the better. Follow the links in the show notes right here in your podcast player to make your wishes known. And now, a minute of meditation. Or if you prefer, pull over. You can do it in 60 seconds. Just click one of those links. They're right there, and give us a like or a 5-star rating. It would really help. If you think this project is helping people, you're helping people by sharing it. Thank you.